We're here at Computex 2026 and today it's the first day of the main exhibition. Today we're at ASRock's booth where we're checking out all of their latest Taichi series gaming monitors. They've got loads of models on display. They've got some new WOLED models, some new QD-OLED models, and there's a big focus now on improved specs, connectivity and features for this Taichi series. So we'll tell you all about the series, show you all of the new models. Let's get right into it right now. First up is a new 27-inch OLED monitor featuring a 4K resolution Tandem WOLED panel from LG Display. We weren't expecting to see this one at Computex, but here it is. It's got an RGB-stripe subpixel layout and a glossy screen coating. So this could give you a really interesting alternative to other competitor models that have been announced so far. It's due to be released in Q4 sometime apparently. We know that the panel is in mass production, but they've got an early sample here at Computex 2026. And it's featuring that new Tandem WOLED panel. So the RGB stripe subpixel layout is designed to help improve text clarity, reduce fringing, and provide a really sharp and clear image. And so combined with the super high pixel density of a 4K resolution on a 27-inch screen, that gives you 166 ppi. It should offer a really impressive picture quality. You've also got the glossy screen finish, so no kind of grain from an anti-glare coating. And in fact, ASRock are using a glossy coating across all of their new OLED monitors in their Taichi series range. As I say, this is part of their new Taichi series, so it's got a range of upgraded connectivity features that didn't feature on their previous Phantom gaming series. So this time you've got two DisplayPort 2.1 connections with full UHBR20 speeds, two HDMI 2.1, a USB Type-C with 65 watts power delivery. It's also got a 2-port USB hub, KVM switch function, headphone connection, 2 times 3 watt integrated speakers. So loads of upgraded connectivity compared with their earlier models. And that's one of the key features that they're promoting across their Taichi series brand. Now, ASRock have also got a new 27-inch 4K QD-OLED model that we'll show you in a minute. So you're going to have a choice here between the 27-inch WOLED model when it comes out or a 27-inch QD-OLED version. Now we should also talk obviously about the refresh rate and things like that and HDR support. Sorry, I should have probably covered this a little bit earlier. It's got a 240 Hz native refresh rate and it supports a dual mode function for 480 Hz at 1080p. So you've got the choice there for different gaming scenarios, whether you want to focus on higher frame rates or higher resolution. In terms of brightness, ASRock haven't published the specs for brightness at this stage, but we're expecting it to meet the VESA Display HDR 400 True Black Tier, 1000 nits peak brightness, and probably 250 nits for full screen white and for SDR brightness. That would be in line with what we've seen from the panel from LG Display and from competitor screens. So it looks like a really interesting option. It'll be really nice to have a different alternative in this space when it's released. Hopefully ASRock will come in at a competitive price point like they usually do with their new monitors. So a really interesting one to look out for later in the year. Next up are two 27-inch size screens with super high refresh rates. You've got a choice here now between a 500 Hz QD-OLED model or a 540 Hz WOLED model. So the QD-OLED features a Samsung display panel, obviously 27-inch, 1440p, 500 Hz refresh rate. That's the TCO27QXA. And then the LG Display Tandem WOLED version is the TCO27QXB. So for once, quite simple model naming schemes. The A is the QD-OLED, the B is the WOLED. Both of these are all about super fast refresh rates for competitive gaming situations. Both of them have got a glossy screen finish. So the QD-OLED's got the traditional semi-glossy finish with some anti-reflective capabilities, while the WOLED features the glossy finish on that panel as well. So all of the ASRock Taichi series are actually glossy OLED monitors, which is going to be very popular, I'm sure, with a lot of you out there. Both models are certified to the VESA Display HDR 500 True Black Tier. On the QD-OLED model, so the A model, you've got 1000 nits peak brightness, 300 nits for full screen and 300 nits for SDR. And on the WOLED model, the B model, you've got 1500 nits peak brightness, 335 nits for full screen and for SDR. So the WOLED model does reach brighter. It's got 540 Hz. We should also say that, of course, the B model, the WOLED model, has also got a dual mode function that can support 720 Hz at a much lower 720p resolution. So if you've got any particular gaming requirements where you're happy to play at 720p, you're playing older game titles or at lower resolutions, then the B model, the WOLED model, might be more suitable because it's got that higher refresh rate support as well. Both of these models have got the same updated connectivity as the 27-inch 4K model that we talked about earlier. So 2 DisplayPort 2.1, UHBR20 speeds, 2 HDMI 2.1, USB-C with 65 watts power delivery, speakers, headphone jack, USB hub, all of those same features. That's universal across the Taichi series, which is really great to see. Some of the earlier models in their Phantom gaming series didn't have this extensive connectivity, so that's one of the premium features across the Taichi models. There's also another model. There's the TCO27 USA. Now this is another 27-inch size screen with a 4K resolution, 240 Hz refresh rate. This is built around the more familiar Samsung Display QD-OLED panel. So True Black 400 certification, 1000 nits peak brightness for HDR, and again, all of the connectivity that we've been talking about across the Taichi series. So in this series, you're going to have a choice really. So you've got a 27-inch 4K QD-OLED. You've also got a 27-inch WOLED. Big choice, just like with the gaming models, 500 Hz QD-OLED, 540 Hz WOLED. The TCO27 USA is also going to be available in an all-white version as well for those who've got a white system or you like that different design aesthetic. That's the TCO27 USA-W. Again, nice simple model name schemes, which we really like. This model's got same panel as the black version, obviously. Again, 27-inch QD-OLED, 4K resolution, 240 Hz refresh rate. So a nice choice there between white model, black model. ASRock are really doing a nice job here, actually, of giving customers a choice, we think, between QD-OLED, WOLED models, white and black versions. The other difference between some of these models is that the QD-OLED screens have got a squarer metal base, or not really square, more like a hexagonal shape. That is across the QD-OLED models, whereas the WOLED models have got like a triangular shape on the bottom as well for the foot. So another distinguishing feature difference there. The back of the screens also looks a bit different. The WOLED models have got a thinner side, different RGB lighting design on the back. The QD-OLEDs have got a more curved rear enclosure, different RGB lighting features and design aesthetics. So again, a distinction there between the WOLED and the QD-OLED models in the design as well. Next up are a couple of 27-inch QD-OLED models featuring Samsung Display's recently launched QD-OLED Edge panels. Now these are the panels that are aimed at more affordable entry-level OLED monitors, so you can expect a competitive price point for these screens when they're released. There's two models. Again, you've got a black version and a white version, distinguished with a W on the end of the model name, for the white version, obviously. These are actually part of the Phantom gaming series this time. There's the PGO27 QSA and then the PGO27 QSA-W for the white model. These have got 27-inch panel, 1440p resolution, QD-OLED technology, 240 Hz refresh rate. That should all be pretty familiar if you've seen other low-cost QD-OLED monitors in recent times. The distinction with these and the reason why they're more affordable is that they've got a lower brightness spec. So like other brands where they've used this panel, there's a 200 nits SDR brightness, 400 nits maximum for HDR. They don't have a peak 1000 mode like you can get on some other QD-OLED panels. So if you're looking for an entry-level screen, maybe you're using it more in dimly lit rooms or at night, then these could be well suited to you because they're going to be available at a much lower price point than the higher brightness models. But if you want a higher brightness model, then ASRock have got the 500 Hz models, the 1000 nits peak brightness is available there. These are the Samsung QD-OLED Edge panels. So it's all about that affordable price point, like we say. So these look also really interesting. Again, nice to see a choice between black and white models. Because they're part of the Phantom gaming series, they don't have all of the connectivity that the new Taichi series has. They've got two HDMI 2.1, two DisplayPort 1.4 and a headphone out. So no USB-C, no KVM switch, no USB hub on these. These are part of the Phantom gaming series rather than the Taichi series. It's not all about OLED monitors. ASRock have also got a new LCD ultra-wide screen here. It's 34 inches in size, 1500R curvature, so it's slightly curved, 3440 by 1440 resolution. And this one's built around a VA LCD panel. So it's actually one of the first that we've seen, I think, that features a dual mode function. It runs at 200 Hz refresh rate at native resolution, or you can double that to 400 Hz if you drop down to a 720p ultra-wide resolution. So that's an interesting option in the ultra-wide market if you're looking for an LCD panel option. This is part of their Phantom Gaming series as well, so same connectivity as the Phantom Gaming OLED monitors that we talked about, 2 HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, no USB-C, no USB hub. But this looks an interesting monitor if you're after an ultra-wide screen. We haven't seen many ultra-wide VA monitors, certainly none with a dual mode function as far as I can remember. So that's a new model coming out from ASRock later in the year. So there you go, there's all of the news from ASRock from Computex 2026. Loads of new OLED monitors, a new curved VA ultra-wide as well. But the new Taichi series looks really good. Nice to see some improved connectivity and a great choice between QD-OLED and WOLED panels, black and white versions of most of the models as well. So you've got a choice there depending on your preferences and your requirements. There's loads more news coming up from Computex this week. Do hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all of our latest coverage. And don't forget, we've got a Computex 2026 tracker on our website if you want to keep track of all of the latest news, coverage, articles, and everything else. Loads going on this week. I'm starting to lose my voice, so apologies. Thank you for watching anyway. I'll catch you in the next one if I can still speak then. Bye.